And welcome back to the Noon News. Well, it is indeed planting season across Northern Ag Network country, and the topic of today's program, how to avoid tire damage to those expensive farm equipment tires. And with us on the program to do exactly that is Steve Brownlee from Tire-Rama. So Steve, with planting season underway, regardless of what commodity we're planting, how do we prevent tire damage?
You know, it really comes down to maintenance. That spring walk around, you got to get around your equipment. Doesn't matter what it is, your tractor, your planter, your trucks. I mean, you're going to pull into the field. You got to check that stuff out. Be on top of it. You take a a broke down or used, fairly hard used tire and put it in the field with that stubble, that the stalks, corn, wheat, whatever. We can get them punctured.
Now, before we started this program, we were talking about just some of the changes in technology to the crops themselves, which make it a little bit more challenging for today's farm equipment tire.
Yeah, we've got Firestone, Goodyear, Titan, all these companies watching as our universities, as all these places grow a 300 bushel corn crop. Right. And to hold or prop up that corn crop, they got to have a big stalk on there. And when we come in there and we harvest that stalk off, we've got a little piece of rebar sticking up. So we got to be real conscious of where we're planting and how we're tilling and working those fields so we don't drive right over top of that.
Of course, we're not just talking about corn, but for those of you out there that maybe utilize some of that CRP hay ground once in a while, that's pretty damaging as well.
Yeah, in fact, I have personal knowledge of that, but you cut that CRP off, you got that old alfalfa stock, and anybody that's out there knows it's just sharp as a razor. And those swathers, those balers, those tractors pulling into those fields, you got to be real careful. You know, we need newer or fairly new tires on those pieces of equipment.
So tell us, how are tire companies, with all of this new and amazing technology available to all of us, helping to minimize damage to these farm and ranch equipment tires?
What they're coming out with is a harder compound on the outer face of the tires, trying to push that stock over and not receive, you know, the injury, the puncture. They're putting heavier ply on the tires, and they're trying to get the farmer to put a mechanical device either in front of the machine to bend those stalks over so they're not pointed right at the tire themselves, or till it, you know, within the row of the plants.
Wow. Well,
it's interesting.
Some awesome technology and some very useful tips. Steve, thanks for stopping by.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Steve Brownlee with Tire-Rama. Stay with us. We'll have your markets coming up next.